want to start already kick off the podcast, that topic? The choppings, you want to start with choppings?
Yeah, let's start with choppings.
Let's start with the choppings. That is big news. It's big news. Big
international
huge
news.
News. Because Jamaica's treasured son has been the victim of a gross injustice.
Just him?
And several other people as well. And this is also a part of the conversation. It's not just Usain Bolt. So it was revealed over the weekend that there was an investigation launched, a probe, if you will, after Usain Bolt reportedly lost millions upon millions of USD dollars. What's the figures again?
10 million.
It's 10 million? I've seen 12 in some reports.
It's I've seen where he has lost 10 million and him only have 2,000 left. I see where him lose 6 million and him have 12,000 left. Like, it's been a confusing figure. It's been changing. It's almost every article that I read, the figures
change.
What was said was that it was a retirement fund.
Yeah, that's true.
And that it has pretty much been cleaned out. So Stocks and Securities Limited.
Yeah.
That's SSL. Private Wealth Management Company. Has been placed under enhanced oversight while the Financial Services Commission conducts the inquiry. There have been names bandied about. There's been statements from a name. Do we say allegedly or these are facts now, right?
What?
Like when we put out these names, if we talk about said names.
So
if we state the names of who them said do the choppings.
Still put allegedly because they're not they're not convicted of the crime. Because I'm assuming investigations are still underway.
True. There have been statements put out by the alleged perpetrator, who it is allegedly in a ring of perpetrators. And she put out a statement. Yes, it's a she. So a 6-page statement here is giving a lot of information. There's about 39 points here in this statement.
Yeah.
Whole lot of information. What I can tell you now as of this recording is that Usain Bolt has given an ultimatum. The man say 10 days.
10 days.
10 days.
Put back my money.
And I have 10 days for giving back my money. That I'm reading here from Jamaica Gleaner. Sprint legend Usain Bolt account at fraud hit investment firm Stocks and Securities Limited had a balance of Jamaican $2 billion. That's US 12.7 million at October 31, 2022, but only Jamaican 1.8 US 12K last week. The former athlete's law firm confirms Bolt has given SSL 10 days from January 16 to pay the October figure.
That's a lot of money to recover.
A whole lot of money. I'm seeing the conversations about what if money that the Bolt earned this and that much a year, adjusting retirement fund, it's people like those that I feel normalize scamming and chopping and all that.
Exactly.
No, when I was being positive, I was saying like on the positive side, like he's not destitute and broke.
That's how you can look on things on the bright side.
Don't fucking steal my money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I look at it this way: if you have $30 million, let's say you have 30,000 and $2,000 out of that just get taken. You know, you gotta still want to know what going for the
like who take the money out of the account.
30 million or two gone or you know like
money is missing.
Amount of money is missing. It was something that he was storing and putting away under the guise of trusting this institution. And it gets
because it's not just what should be noted, because it was supposed to be a retirement fund that would grow interest.
Exactly.
So it's like the principal money that was saved plus the accruing interest on the money.
Right.
What happened to that? Were they investing the money? enough questions have to be answered there because him give the money, and I'm assuming because from it just seems as if it's just the principal initial investment that him put in that's missing. But
Yeah.
I mean, how long has he been investing? I've seen where he's saying that it's 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
I can't just that
From-
money they
from
put in.
2012.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a lot of questions that need to be answered.
Oh my God.
So in the statement, I say some sophisticated chopping did I go on.
But
In the statement given in the presence of our you have something to
no,
say,
you
Johnson?
can go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, in the statement that was the 6-page statement that may reference in the beginning. As a rash chopping, no man go on with him. I'm telling you, some of the one them must stand out him. Hold on now. So this is the 6th one. In other cases, I create an email request from the client that was not actually written by the client and keep the entire sum that was requested.
Mm-hmm.
There's one that she basically states
So
that
she's pretending to be the client when she actually pretend for requests, say them want funds, and then send it out to the bearer, and then the bearer just carry the funds to she.
Or when them would actually request some funds, like she'd report it as being a higher figure and then keep the difference.
Yeah.
Something like that. There's also number 3, the sub story. In or around 2010, my father was diagnosed with cancer and I was primarily responsible for my parents' care and finances. He had to go overseas for treatment and he was not employed at the time. At this point, I thought of borrowing from my clients to cover my father's expenses. I had no idea. I had no idea how I would pay it back, but that was my solution at the time. Approximately 3 years later, he passed away and I also had to assist with the funeral expenses. I also borrowed from the client accounts to cover the funeral expenses. My brother also attempted to kill my mother and was committed to a home, and I cover his expenses. My financial burden increased during COVID-19 pandemic and income from SSL decreased. I was unable to repay the funds and return the funds and continue to take the funds for various purposes. That's just one example out of 33 listed things here in the statement. There's a lot of things here to take in and digest, if you will. What stood out here for you, Ari? During this whole thing.
Wow. I mean, it's just the systematic level of fraud that's happening here. Because it's just like, one person steals so much money. But then I'm thinking that maybe it's a whole probably department of people stealing money, because in the same statement that is released, which by the way I'm kind of questioning why it was released, because I'm assuming it's for legal purposes only. So I don't think it should have been fodder for the internet. So for it to be released is questionable, but that aside,
It's out.
She gave a table, and apparently Bolt's name is on the list. So it's like, wow, like why is she not accounting for Bolt's money? His former business manager is
If in fact this list was actually created by her.
Right. Exactly. Thank you, Javi. So that too. But the thing is just like, one, I want people to kind of don't conflate the issues, because that's why I'm seeing people like, scamming. Like them I say, corporate scamming isn't a bit like, why people now make it a big deal, like the scamming that happens in Montego Bay that's wreaking havoc. But I say, like, let's not conflate it. And it's like they're both stealing and they're both
wrong.
Yeah, and it's like very probably what do I call it now? Enhanced and creative stealing in a way, like very, them have to create them. Like, oh yeah, I'm calling from, you win $1 million, and while them take money and
according to this statement, she got very creative.
Right, like she create email addresses and she had that and blah blah blah.
She plan it out.
Right, so they're both very intricate and very, as may I say, creative deceptions that's happening here. However, these people, they're what you call white collar crimes.
Yeah,
it's just like corporate. While the people who scam is not just they're scamming, they're creating the branch off of criminal activity that's happening where they're buying the guns and the drugs and the guns and the ammunition and literally wreaking havoc on the western end of the country. That's the difference. And that is why I'm saying don't try and conflate the two.
Alright, where I try said that worse than this?
Yeah, you're literally you're terrorizing communities. They're buying guns and ammunition. So it's not just the stealing and the scamming, and them are do other things with it. It's the other extracurricular activities that they're engaging in order to protect themselves is wreaking havoc. And that is why it's now you have to get the police, them affair, the extra work and military operations affair going for try and curtail it. They're both wrong and they're both stealing. But I'm just saying people are trying to make it seem as if, they're one in the same. They're both wrong, but
they're
I'm
not
just
one
saying,
in the same. They're different. But one more I want it said that you are the right now is that you minimize this crime.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. Absolutely not.
Because I walk on. A network and a spider web of things can happen just around this.
True.
People lose their money and then them find themselves in a crime.
True.
Or we never know the deep,
like
the deeper underlyings of what else this person
exactly
other than this. It's like Ozark. You see me? So
no, but the thing is, according to her excuse, she was literally trying to do it to take care of her family. One
of the reasons.
I guess
the chopper
noble excuse, right?
Exactly.
Noble excuse, but still a fuckery excuse. Like there's no reason to steal, But I guess people would say that if you're stealing for bread, if you're hungry, you shouldn't be penalized to the 10th degree while you just steal because you want to steal for stealing's sake. Their level, your mens rea, several things are come into play when you commit a crime. Them have to ask why is it? What's the motive for you to commit a crime? And then that's what they take into consideration.
Yeah,
the how much justice would they expend on this crime? You understand?
Yeah.
Studio audience member message me and say if you call a millionaire in the middle of the night to say I have an opportunity for you to make $20,000, he'll probably hang up the phone. But if you tell him he's about to lose $20,000, he'll probably stay on the phone trying to figure out how to prevent it.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
It goes back to what I did.
True. But the thing is, but it's just people say the scammer and them and I see somebody even say, I don't want it. They must say, if the government is going to ban the ads that they're running, because apparently this particular wealth advisor had an ad out and she's like, trust me, I earn it. I think to paraphrase, I was trying to pull up the ad, but I don't remember what she said. But
yeah,
people said she's going to ban it and whatever, and I'm just like, again, we're conflating the issues because I must say how the government has banned the scammer songs, them, and all the things that come with that. Are you guys listening?
Yes.
I'm listening. I'm reading some news as we speak.
What's the news?
Them appoint Mark Croskery, I'm a CEO of SSL Venture Capital. I'm getting this from Shelley and Karan's page, by the way. But it's been reported that he will be appointed, or he has been appointed CEO of SSL Venture Capital. She is putting forward the assumptions here, some hopscotch thing going.
But he wasn't, because I know the cross group people them own SSL. So if he wasn't always the chairman
before.
So
that's a question.
That's
anyways, that's another story. But
one broader conversation to bring about.
Wait, I wasn't really
finished. Okay, go on. Think it finished.
No, because you wasn't listening.
Yeah. I read them saying, yeah.
Oh, good.
No, but I'm just saying it's wrong because people are saying, boy, if them are gonna ban scamming song or whatever. And I mean, it's just even to the euphemism of defrauding when it's corporate. They use the word defraud and see, but it's wrong. But what people need to understand too is an investigation would have to take place, and probably the SSLV, maybe they were aware for a long time. What I usually know how it go is that if you steal or if you do anything kind of fraudulent, they and then probably see it and then probably put a red flag up and they keep on watching your transaction and to see how you do to build a case. So maybe now it just get out now and they must say, well, all right, it's time now to build a case now that's happening. But what I want people to understand too is not just Bolt. Like there are other victims out there, but we get that Bolt like being one of the, he's like a high profile figure. That's how they're gonna run the story. But just remember there are other people affected, you know. And I hope that there can be some compensation for everybody involved. I don't know. This probably bankrupt SSL, but clearly there's something wrong. There's a system. There's the systematic way of how they're able to defraud the customers without any checks and balance for so long, you know. And then probably it's not she one, maybe it's another is a whole department
like a
as I
team.
alluded to, right? So you know there should be maybe this would probably mean the dissolution of SSL. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe people are going to be wary and withdraw their money. Obviously, that's going to cause a shake up and a bankrupt in their business. But I hope that this don't defraud people, because I know that's another conversation. Like, this shouldn't defraud you from investing. Like, just know who you're investing with, the company, and then just know that everything you run your checks and balance. Like, don't just be so trusting of people. It's money, and people need to realize that people been stealing from the dawn of time. Like, it's not just now. Like from banks make up China. That's why anybody in a Chinese wholesale, so only Chinese people them run the cash. And if that them I got China, if anybody other than their family is at the head of or at the cash register,
never.
They watch them like an arc and then go through accounting. Like, people are gonna steal. Like, if people have access to it, so people make it seem as if because NCB also get caught up in another scamming incident, and we know from Sagicor they were recently in the news for stealing. But you know, people just need to realize that people are going to be people. Like, don't bank in don't take your money out of banking and put it underneath your mattress. That don't make no sense. Like, at least there's someone accountable for stealing it, and they have a duty and an obligation to restore your money. So if somebody come and rob you and burgle your home and rob you and kill you and take your money, or if them not kill you but whatever and take your money, there's no way for you to recover. But at least with the bank you can recover.
It's like you talk about scamming. I'm now me like even with this versus scamming. To me, this kind of worse. Huh?
It is.
You know why?
If you remember, see the same way.
Very impersonal.
Yeah.
Like, you build a relationship of trust with somebody.
I trust you with my money.
With my money.
Yeah.
I agree.
This is one that this was said to be one of the persons involved. Slogan that has the phrase trust in it.
My clients trust me, I earned it.
I mean, and for me, for trust you, because this is what happens with a lot of people that invest. Because as you rightly bring up, Ari, I don't think this should make people back away from investing, because all I go on, if you want to build wealth,
investing. So whether it's in stocks and bonds, or you buy a car or certain probably profitable assets, either way, you have to invest the money. But everything is a risk. That's what I just wanted to say.
I follow one investment page, and they recommend building a whole portfolio. You pick the stock them. I want me investing. Like, what would happen is that you go to a bank and increase like you create like an investment account, and then we'll pick the stock them and everything.
Not with Sigma. When I invest with Sigma, and they're like, which one you want to do? This one is high risk, this one is low risk, this is volatile, this one, but you can make money with the high risk one. But and like you choose, so they walk it through you, so that you choose which one you want to invest in.
The thing is that a lot of people don't understand no financial market, and that's where the trust element comes into play.
True.
You see me? That them build a sort of trust with you.
Exactly.
And for it to be betrayed like this.
Yeah.
You betray me.
You betray me. You know what I mean? It disgusting.
And for so long, to like 10 years.
For so long.
Maybe it's not 10 years, but him have the money,
I know there's a debate going on now
it's been a while.
You know, I know just Usain Bolt and other people are scammed as well.
Yeah.
But Chano a Bolt still.
Yeah.
A Bolt. The man could have taken money go elsewhere. You
But
want
he
to talk about
chose
regular
Jamaica.
class and who a star and who a superstar? A superstar this for Jamaica. Go on.
Yeah.
Him a superstar.
You
without
can't
a
deny
doubt.
it.
You can't deny
it.
that.
Yeah.
That goes without saying.
International.
And for one of the local investment from them, do this to him.
Embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. Say yo, one of him won't do that to him.
Yeah.
After him invest so much in our country.
Not,
It's horrible.
yeah,
I think,
not
but
to
then
cut it,
that's-
but me don't ask. I saw the video where Baby Sham did do, and him that talk about.
What do I want to about that?
The government say, him feel like the Prime Minister for step in and Minister of Finance like they should.
They're a private company.
Right, so that's something that I ask you, like, if do you agree, like, this is not
I
a
was going to
government
put it.
issue,
They're
but,
private companies separate.
but it's Usain Bolt.
But it's a private company. Like the most that
The
they can
argument-
do is to ensure that, well, one, there's the financial regulator was a FSC, just ensure that there's proper oversight. That's the most that they can do. They can't shut it down or they shut down, like, talk about dictator. That would be a dictator.
Oh, I feel like the government for giving back money?
Yeah, like, the government.
Fuck no. Fuck.
You said that very strongly.
But
why
no.
people feel like them,
Yeah, I say, based
No,
on what
because you know
Usain did
what?
for
You
the
know what?
country,
If it
You know
does
what?
that, it's
them
a
can
precedent.
compensate.
And
That
if
is
you
true.
are, and if I
That
was,
is true.
if I am rich,
This is where you're going to open Pandora's box.
I'm rich. So fine. Bolt he's the most notable person that got stolen in the world.
Apparently,
And
there's a
because of his
politician
profile.
as well whose name
But
is
you
Help or
mean to
something.
tell me, say me, who have little money and little something there, and you're gonna repay Bolt, but you're not gonna repay me when I
Both
don't.
who has millions and dollars and who knows how the other people in portfolio and in finances.
Yeah,
set up.
it's a tricky
the amount to
situation.
get chat from them was all that they had.
Yeah.
You see me are a
Maybe-
good,
no,
a good
maybe
percentage of not for real because they
if you're rich and you have sense, you know if
this
it's
is true.
split up.
This
and
is
you
true.
don't
The
put all your
characteristics of
chicken
them
in one
people that
basket,
who would have these type
But
of
they must say
investments.
Bolt probably have a
But
better
still-
chance to get it back than them.
But still, you know what I mean? There are levels involved with the people
I don't
involved in
want
all of
to
this.
say that too because I'm assuming that they're the people who invest in SSLV are well-to-do people. Because they're well-to-do people, they're people that they have multiple stream of income, then probably put it in this one, and then have probably in Sigma, Sagicor investment, then probably do JMB. Like there's several
All right,
options available to
Stick
them.
up in.
So
Stick
that
up in,
means
Stick up in.
So it's like the only
Stick
one.
up in. So let's say that there are some people involved there are give the scenario, say, oh, somebody involved is not well to do.
Yeah.
What for going? Them for the people them say, oh, both forget back your money. Them forget back their money too. And
Of
this is
course,
where
everybody forget about
this is
their
where
money.
Devin the doctor did come out and you see me did have something to say in response to Shaman and say selective,
Empathy. I think that's what he said.
Yeah, I think that's what he said. So because it's Bolt, that's why more people face because he's famous and thing. But what about other people out there
Yeah.
who probably do them part in
And get
advancing the
scammed every
welfare
day. There are probably people who
of the whole human
unnamed
race.
people who got into banks, regular
Yeah.
banks, and like them a save up $1 million. Them have to save up $1 million because them all try put down a deposit on the house and somebody see it and think say, oh, because it's no name, it's fine. And them take the person $1 million and that's the only great financial nest egg that person have. You're not gonna what about that person there. I understand the emotional attachment that Jamaica has to Bolt. I do too. And I appreciate what he has done for it. But I think that SSLV should be the only company, the only set of people that for run back in money and run back everybody their money. The government should not be involved. And I see people, I know it's a joke and people say, make we come back, make the country come together and that's bullshit. Like what about everybody else? Like people get robbed every day, B, and I'm not trying to make it, and that is it. It's like, I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but several people get robbed daily. Like even when them rob people, pick people pocket and all them something that people get stolen from every day. What about the people them overseas? Who people con out of them life savings and them retirement money? Them brought them homeless in a them 80-year-old stage. One to them people they like. Let the people who take the money be responsible for restoring the money. And I think, for the government get involved, the most that I think they can do is probably just ensure that there's proper oversight of FSC and BOJ, who is the regulator of the financial institutions and
Regulator,
ensure that they do right and either bankrupt it
Proper
and ensure them bankrupt it and
investigations.
whatever. But only SSL needs to be the person held accountable for
entity.
restoring the money.
funds, yeah.
Well, then they're 10 days.
10 days.
I'm wondering how much data other people them
I
giving.
think
give
Sham's call out was an example of people pointing the finger at government when
Poor
them say them
government.
things.
Jesus
And
Christ.
me not say poor government, but yeah.
I mean that very facetious
I know.
because it's like everything them call out. Like even things when they
Government, fix
involved
this.
in, the fuck? It's a private a private company. How can the government be involved? It's not like it's a partly privately owned company with the government
Hey.
and
Let me say this, Bolt, if him feel to start a GoFundMe or Kickstarter or something like that, people want to give them, why not?
and if you would do
Well,
that, that
people
would be
would
so
give-
sad.
It would be, but if people choose to give,
Yeah.
that's what they choose to do their money. You know what I mean?
Madness.
The company for start one.
SSL themselves. That would have funny.
Help us.
Help him back.
Help us repay Bolt.
That would have hilarious. Bumba clad. SSLV, go for me. Help us repay back.
God.
Ka order maganit.
Well,
The buff go figure it out
go
though.
figure out.
them have to
Figure out
every
blood.
the
Yeah.
owner would have to
All of
liquidate
them.
assets.
Figure
They
that
would have
out.
to ensure say every money, everybody, whoever get, and the person would steal the money.
Yeah.
So if she buys, so she said she helped care for her father
And brother
funerals
and
all them stuff.
everybody.
Well, she probably and that is it. I don't think she needed so much money because I think the final tally was like 90 million Jamaican.
Based
And
on the table
and
that
it's
you
like
create.
6 million US or something like that. I know so much for funeral costs. Fuck that. That.
Oh, it's clear
fuck
that once the alleged individual got involved, they
Yeah.
got a
I'm
taste
sure
for
the
it, and then-
lifestyle and everything.
Yeah, they
so,
kept on going and going
Yeah.
and going. So it looked like it was something.
So
like
maybe it started
she
out
got good at it and
noble.
got good at figuring out systems how to do it even better, refine the system.
Exactly.
She probably started out with a noble cause, like they all do. You know? But after a while, she realized that, wow.
Money
really
can
good
make
at
it.
I'm getting away with this.
Anyways, SSL sort this out.
Right now.
But because I used to about what I talk about still. All I go on. And for the rest of people as well who
True.
money get chopped, sort
Fuck
it out.
up,
Because this is a
dog.
gross injustice because only people know have second thoughts about investing.
I like cash plus
Yeah,
and
that should be the
holding,
case.
you remember them something?
Oh gosh, man.
People kill themselves because of them
Cash
shit, they know.
plus
Made of
worse.
Bernie made of I must say like
Biggest chopper in history.
billions. And people kill themselves, people invest like all of them money in him.
Yeah.
Dead.
Enough
Like,
people did invest in that.
fucker dog.
This world is all about take, no matter whose life we lose. The target when you're on the top, but you know you cannot be stopped because
Marching a newbie, watching make she prove it. Bad as she Fuji. One cut at a time, she no groupie. She know if it's swell, body has a cutie. She a suck it like a fruit, me papa, but she don't spit. She catch me eyes, but
A rude boy in your resident. I know they broke, so I'm a you bent. Yeah, you first class like the president. Me champion, girl, it's evident. Yeah. Going up, your pressure, my baby, such